Hey there, YouTube. This is Dave, and we are going to do the last segment of the series Making a Mashup. One of the things that I'm really excited about this is kind of like a bonus. We put one together in the last video. However, I wanted to show you what would happen if you came up with a solution or built a solution that I came up with in the last few videos, and then actually see what happens if you want to upgrade it, make changes to it. So there are going to be two different things that I'm going to do in this case. One, like you saw in the previous video, and I kind of pointed it out to you, I created a list called campaigns where we can create a campaign and make that a reality by, let's say it's an email campaign. We're selling a new widget from our widget shop. That is one of the things that we're going to do, is we're going to show that as a possibility. It's going to be real high level. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty unless you guys want to. If you want me to continue on and actually build this out even further, leave a note in the comments. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe as well. The second thing that I'm going to do after showing you about the campaign and what kind of domino effect that's going to lead, then the next thing we're going to do is talk a little bit about what happens if I have more than one sales rep. I created this with a very small business in mind. I am not only the CEO, I am also the sales officer. I am the one who implements. It's literally a one-man show. Well, what happens when my business grows to a certain point where there's more than one person actually making sales, and what are we going to do about that? How do we protect certain informations? Things like that. So that's one of the things that we want to kind of be kept in the wares. Both of them have wide sweeping things where dominoes are going to fall, things that we made in the previous videos. There are certain things we're going to have to do to associate with that. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, here we are in the Extremes Widgets CRM, where we've created this site and all the things around it through this series. One of the things that I wanted to point out, we made this very simple, very straightforward. We didn't dress it up a lot. We basically just focused on the CRM components, and that's what we're going to continue to do. As you can see, I have my mouse pointing at the campaigns list, and one of the things that I wanted to make sure you all understand is, yes, we saw this in the previous video. I did that on purpose because of the fact of the matter is I wanted to do that, but the series would spin for quite a while, and I don't mind that, but there are other things that I definitely want to show, especially with Copilot reaching new heights, especially with Microsoft Ignite, which is being done this week in 2025. So there's a lot of things that are happening that I want to make sure that I capture, not just continue on this series. Like I said, however, if I say something that you're interested in, leave a note in the comments below telling me that is what you want. I have no problem doing that for you. Let's actually look at campaigns and what it entails, and then from there we can go ahead and move forward. Here we are in the list settings of the campaigns. I scrolled down to the columns section so I could show you what I have. So campaign name, primary reason, start date, end date, and campaign budget are the particular columns that I wanted to create for the campaigns. All of the columns are self-explanatory except for primary reason. Now, the primary reason for a campaign could vary greatly if you're a retail company, if you're healthcare, if your legal services, if your hospitality services, whatever the case may be, this could very easily change depending upon what is important to you and to your company. We have announced new product, announced planned seminar or webinar rather, boost sales in general, boost sales for a specific product, and then of course celebration, where we want to include our clients and customers in a celebration. Maybe is our 5-year anniversary. You could certainly add others to that as well. So what we're going to need to do is tie in campaigns into our interactions and basically have it set so that through the interactions, we'll be able to actually come up with a solution, whether we create a mailing list or an email list, whatever the case may be, we're going to have a way to tie these campaigns to the individuals we want to reach out to. It's maybe possible you want to reach out to everyone. However, that may not always be the case. Maybe we want to reach out to a certain vertical. These are the questions you will need to ask when you do these things like add to your CRM or to whatever mashup that you have created. You have to understand, if I can't just bolt something on without kind of thinking about it, because how is it going to interact with the other pieces? What makes sense? Where do I need to add it? Do I need to add other functionality? Do I need to add other columns? Whatever the case may be, these are the questions you're going to need. Let's jump over to the interactions and I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here we are in the settings for our interactions list. You can see the list of columns. For those of you who have been following this video series, you probably recognize this list. You can see there's nowhere that it even resolves campaigns at all. Not there, not a problem. We would have to actually create a column, and it'll be a lookup column. It's going to look up campaigns, and then we can put it in there. Because all these interactions may not have to do with campaigns per se, then we're going to have to go ahead and just create a new one. But now that being said, that may not be something that we want to do. That may be off the mark. For something simplistic, this is the place to put it, because indeed, sending out an invitation to a dinner sales event, that's great. And that is definitely an interaction, and so being captured in interactions certainly makes sense. Or it could be for email. That being said, is it the best way or the easiest way? It could be. It could not be. It's just one of those things that you're going to have to weigh out. It's possible you're like, you know what? Even though that's a great idea, I'd rather make a separate list for campaigns that actually interacts with our client and customers list, where we can actually just choose these specific individuals and automatically do it that way. Whatever the case may be, whatever you find is going to be the easiest is going to need to happen, and you're going to have to plan out each additional step. This is the reason why I wanted to do this video, is to show you, yes, we have a very simple CRM, but it was so mainline basic. Even a small company of one would be able to outgrow that relatively quick as they start to use it for more and more things, such as campaigns. So it's something you want to keep in mind. Okay, in this section, we're going to talk about what happens with the CRM, which is basically designed for a team of one. When the company actually starts to see some real growth, all of a sudden now you have to hire a second, maybe even a third sales rep in order to keep you busy enough. We're going to have to do a few things. And one of the things that a lot of companies have to deal with in a CRM, a sales rep is going to be assigned an area, a district, or maybe a state. Let's say we're in, the tri-state area. Whatever the case may be, well, that's all great and good. So we got 3 different sales reps, each has a different area. One of the things that you would do, and I'm pointing right now with my mouse, customers. Okay, we have jumped into the customers list setting. You can see everything except there is no column for capturing the sales rep. So you would actually go into the create column. You would most likely choose person or group. That way you're using Active Directory and you would assign to each individual. Well, that's great. So now you have assigned the customers to the appropriate sales individuals. However, that being said, is that enough? Situations would be like, you know what? I want my sales reps to come in here, not worry about all the clients and customers we have, but want to focus on the ones that have been assigned to them. Scroll down and you would actually create a view, my customer. So that way, whoever is actually logged into the CRM, they will be presented with the clients and customers that have been assigned to them specifically. And then all of a sudden, it makes things much more simple. That being said, that may not be enough. One of the other things that you might want to consider is like, look, I don't want one sales rep know what the clients and customers are for another sales rep. That means you need to lock things down. Well, how are you going to lock things down? It's a list. Well, now you're going to have to turn on folders. Do folders work in lists? Yes. Are they turned on automatically? No. It's a list. Why would you use folders unless there is a business case or business reason? One of the things I will continue to tell you as I continue to make more and more videos, I may tell you what the best practices are, or SharePoint will try to guide you towards the best practices. Like, don't use folders in a list. It doesn't make sense. Or does it? There's always a business case or a business situation where the best practice will not work, or it's not the best practice in that particular case. So what we would do is jump into advanced settings. Once in advanced settings, we're going to have to scroll down to where folders are. Here they are. As I said, they're not currently, and then we would have to turn folders on. Why folders? How is that going to help? Well, what you would end up doing is putting all the client. Let's say you, in the tri-state area, will have a folder called State 1, State 2, and State 3. Break the inheritance, and then you only give permission to the sales rep and to the manager and the owner of each of those folders who are supposed to actually have access. That way, if I'm the sales rep for State 1, well, then Dave is going to be actually added to the folder for State 1, but kept removed from State 2 and State 3 folders in order to allow only those other two reps to have their corresponding state folder for them. That way I know of my particular customers, but I don't know who the other customers are. Well, if we do go down this route, guess what? The dominoes are going to fall some more. Why is that? Because what is going to end up happening is I can't do just folders for here. Now we have to do folders for interactions and for the customer contacts as well. All of a sudden you got these things that you're going to have to understand, and you're going to like, okay, I've got to be sure that I do this in the right way, or else it's going to be messy. That is why I wanted to do this video, to show you that when you add different pieces to this, or different things, you are going to end up having to deal with this. The dominoes will fall. Just try to think things out. Okay, I want security for each of the customers between the different sales reps. What needs to happen? Well, currently everything is open. Can't do that? Put the folders in place for all three lists. Once the folders are in place for all three lists, then we actually have to figure out a way. All right, how do we deal with this? I can't show it with no folders, because then what happens when they create an interaction, but they forget to put it into their folder? That means that interaction is available for all the sales reps to see. These are the things you're going to have to think about. These are the things you're going to have to work with. And so that is something you're going to have to keep in mind, and make sure that you actually keep a clear understanding. 1, the business process. 2, the security. Honestly, you should probably think security before anything else. And then once you build it, then you can do the other things like build the folders and come up with the standard operating procedures and things like that. You can still have a very nice CRM, but you can see the more complex it becomes, the more work up front you're going to need to do in order to make it a success. Hopefully the information that I've shared with you is something that will be able to help you if you do decide to create a mashup. Mashups can be any number of things. I use the CRM as an example because that's the first thing that came to mind. However, a CRM is not the only thing a mashup can be. Maybe you're a baseball card collector, and so you wanted to create a entire mashup where you can have a list of all the pitchers, catchers, first baseman, second baseman, third baseman, all the stats that come with that particular position, and then have it so that you also have the entire team. Whatever the case may be, this is going to be something that'll be of value to you. Hopefully this series has helped you. Definitely leave a like, a comment, and give me a thumbs up if you appreciated this video series. and I will see you again really soon.